Yo, how's it going, Bears fans? Welcome back to another episode of the Bear Down Podcast. I'm your host, Chris, and today I am joined by my co-host who is in the call, Jaylen. How's it going, buddy?
What's up, man?
So I would like to start off by giving a quick shout-out to my friend Mikey. He is at SRelics on Instagram. He made us a whole new revamp with a new logo and a banner. Matt Nagy themed. It's Boom themed. So you can check that out, and you can go check him out on Instagram if you want to buy any logos, banners, any type of graphics, he can make it. So I'm going to leave his Instagram in the description. But today we are going to be going through basically all the NFL honors, from Rookie of the Year to Executive of the Year to our MVP candidates. We're going to be basically filling out our ballots for most of, not all of the awards, but most of the important awards that are going to be handed out at the NFL honors, which will be on February 2nd, the night before the Super Bowl. Saturday, February 2nd, I believe. So that's coming up soon. Me and Jaylen are going to go through a ton of awards, give you guys who we think are going to win them, and we'll see how that compares out to the real thing. So let's get right into it, Jaylen. I'm going to start off with you. Who is your offensive rookie of the year? I think this is a pretty obvious one, but who's your offensive rookie of the year?
Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley is already a top 5 running back, and he was just drafted like 7 months ago. So he's a phenomenal talent. When we played the New York Giants earlier this season, he had that big run on like third and like 20 something, which put them in field goal range. Get a big kick, which actually played a big part in them winning that game. So
yeah,
Saquon Barkley is a phenomenal talent. He's the best offensive player on that Giants team, other than Odell. So man, once they get a quarterback, Odell, Saquon, and their quarterback, that's gonna be a deadly offense right there.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Saquon as well. I think a case could be made for Phillip Lindsay, and I think a case could definitely be made for Baker Mayfield to win this award. But Saquon was dominant the entire year. We were what we thought he was going to be. Everyone gave him the comparisons to Ezekiel Elliott, and I think he might have had maybe even a better year than Ezekiel Elliott, some could argue. They were both dominant the entire year. But Saquon, I would say it was worth picking him at number 2. The Giants are going to have to figure out their quarterback situation moving forward, but they obviously have Odell locked in for a couple of years, and Saquon's going to be on his rookie contract for the next couple of years. He signed a 4 or 5 year rookie deal, so he's my offensive rookie of the year for sure. Defensive rookie of the year, I'm going with Derwin James on the Los Angeles Chargers. I think a case could be made for Darius Leonard of the Colts, and I think that might be who Jaylen's picking. I'm not sure. Derwin James coming onto the field week 1 for the Chargers. No one really expected anything of him. I know that in last year's draft, teams like the Buccaneers passed on Derwin James when they could have picked him. The Buccaneers picked Vita Vea. A lot of teams passed on Derwin James, and he has just been an absolute star his rookie year. I'm not sure if he's a Pro Bowler, Jaylen. Do you know if he's a Pro Bowler? Derwin James? He might be. Derwin James. Yeah.
Yes, he is a Pro
Yeah,
Bowler.
I think he's also an All-Pro first year. So it was an incredible year for him. It was an incredible year for Derwin James, along with Darius Leonard, someone for the Colts that no one really expected to do anything, who was a Pro Bowl snub and is also an All-Pro. So 2 great rookies, but I'm going to pick Derwin James. I think he had a little bit bigger of an impact than Darius Leonard. So I'm going to say Derwin James for my defensive rookie of the year.
So you were right about my pick. It hurts me not to be able to say Roquan Smith, who did have a phenomenal season.
If Roquan started the entire year, I think a case could have been made for him. He would probably be like 3rd or 4th in my voting for this.
He had a great year, but these other rookies had amazing years. So I'm gonna go with Darius Leonard here. He was a 2nd round pick. Colts passed up on Roquan Smith because they feel like they could draft Quinn Nelson and then get Darius Leonard in the 2nd round, and they're completely right about that. Darius Leonard was amazing, led the league in tackles, had 2 interceptions, multiple forced fumbles, was an All-Pro in his rookie season. He basically carried that Colts defense. For him to be a rookie and him put numbers up like that, it was crazy. He's going to be a great player.
Totally.
Great player for these next couple of years.
Yeah, I would probably put Roquan under those 2. If I had to probably rank my top 4 defensive rookies, I would go Derwin James, Darius Leonard, Roquan Smith, and then Leighton Vander Esch. I'd probably put Roquan at 3 or 4.
No Chubb? Chubb had like 12.
Yeah, I would probably put Chubb at 5. Next, we're going to go on to the FedEx Air and Ground Player of the Year. This is a 2-prong award. Basically, the best quarterback in the league and the best running back in the league for the season. I'm going to go with Drew Brees and Todd Gurley for this one. Obviously, saying that Drew Brees is the best quarterback, it's basically giving away my MVP pick. And I'm going to say right now, my MVP is Patrick Mahomes. But that's why I'm going to give this one to Drew Brees. He was incredible. Also, Gurley was incredible when he played. This is a weird award. I don't really know what it stands for or anything. It's just the best quarterback and running back of the year, and it's a new award. So I'm going to give it to those two guys.
I'm going to go with Pat Mahomes and also Todd Gurley here. Pat Mahomes, 50 touchdowns. That's crazy. And some people doesn't even think he's reached his full potential. So
a lifetime sponsorship by Heinz.
Yeah. And if you're talking 50 touchdowns and you haven't reached your full potential yet, you're going to be an amazing quarterback in this league. And Todd Gurley, he's been great these last couple of years. He's been a great running back ever since he's been drafted. So I'm going to go with him.
Now, I'm pretty sure this next one we're talking about is not one, I don't think that's handed out at the NFL Honors Awards, but a lot of people who talk about NFL Honors and stuff like to bring this one up. The most improved team in 2018, I think it's between the Colts and the Bears, and I'm going to go with the Bears. Complete 180. I think it's actually pretty obvious that it's the Bears, but the Colts also had a pretty good turnaround this year. The Bears had a complete 180. I mean, 12-4, and people could argue that a couple sloppy plays led to them not being even better than they were and being the 2 seed. So for most improved team, as Parth joins the call, what's going on, Parth?
What's up?
We've already went through offensive rookie of the year, defensive rookie of the year, and FedEx Ground and Air Player of the Year. But we're on most improved team now. I just talked about the Bears. Jaylen, I'm going to go to you. Who is your most improved team of 2018?
I gotta go with the team from the Windy City. We went 5-11 last year. 3-13 the year before that. And that's a 9. I was going to say 9. A 7-win increase of wins, and that's crazy. Nagy has came in here and completely been a great coach. Pace definitely turned this team around with the additions he had in this offseason. Yeah. By me saying that, you can clearly know who I'm going to pick for executive of the year also, but yeah, I'm going to go with the Bears right now.
And coach of the year. Parth, who's your most improved team this year?
Well, since you guys already said the Bears twice, right? So, I mean, I'm not going to... It's like, I truly believe the Bears are the most improved team. But... Yeah,
pick someone else. Just spruce it up.
On another standpoint, I'm going to go with the Cleveland Browns.
Okay.
I mean, I love what they're doing in Cleveland with the hiring of... Is it John Dorsey as their GM? Ever since then, they've been looking up. I mean, Baker Mayfield looks like a franchise quarterback. He's probably going to be a top 10 quarterback next year. And they won 7 games this year, which is something you don't expect out of that Cleveland franchise because they went 1-31 the last 2 years. So winning 7 games from them was like a big thing. And I mean, I was surprised. Their defense also forced a lot of turnovers. I think it was like the second most or the third most in the NFL. And their offense will get there, especially under Freddie Kitchens as their new head coach. So I'm excited to see what they do in Cleveland even next year.
Totally. Next, we've got the executive of the year. I think there's basically only 2 picks for this. You could pick Chris Ballard or you could pick Ryan Pace. I'm going to let these guys pick Ryan Pace, and I'm going to be like the third guy that talks about why, like an argument for why the other person could win it. I'm going to talk about Chris Ballard for a second. Jaylen, I know we talked about earlier, Darius Leonard. Obviously being someone out of a draft who we thought was going to make an impact, but not this great of an impact. Quentin Nelson, I think he allowed the least quarterback pressures out of any offensive lineman in the league this year.
Crazy.
Dontrell Inman was their number 2 receiver. Marlon Mack, someone that we didn't expect that they brought in, that was incredible this year. Andrew Luck was playing again and was playing awesome. Malik Hooker had a great year as well. And Jabal Sheard also on that D-line was incredible. The reason I'm going to say Ballard, and if I had to vote for this, I would obviously vote Pace, but the reason I would say Ballard is because I feel like Pace took in and did a great job at recruiting like all these well-known players, guys like Allen Robinson, Taylor Gabriel, players that have proven themselves before in the league. But you look at what the Colts did, man. They brought in a lot of players that didn't have much experience, a couple rookies, and they really turned something that everyone thought was a couple years behind progress, and they really proved that they were on pace right now to win. And they had an incredible year. So that's why I would say Chris Ballard is the executive of the year.
I'd go with Ryan Pace just because how this team played last year. You know, we went 5-11, and then we had no direction with John Fox. I mean, if anything, we would have gotten worse if we still had John Fox. I mean, he tied Trubisky's hands and said, "Here, throw the ball 10 times, we'll run it 30 times." And that's not how this league works anymore. So the hiring of Matt Nagy started like the whole pretty much new era for the Bears, and that was all because of Ryan Pace's efforts going to the coaching. I mean, everyone wanted us to hire Josh McDaniels, but like the hiring of Matt Nagy shocked me. I was like, dang, why this is dumb. At first, I thought it was a dumb move, but I was like, in pace we trust. That's a slogan here that I use a lot.
Yeah. And look at all these other teams now trying to find these young guys trying to coach an offense. I mean, we'll talk about Nagy later when we talk about Coach of the Year. I assume that's going to be the pick for all of us. But everyone said last year, find a new Sean McVay. And I feel like for everyone that's hired a new coach, Nagy's panned out the most like Sean McVay for sure. Like Matt Patricia didn't pan out. Pat Shurmur didn't pan out. Frank Reich panned out. But Nagy's a young guy, and he's an offensive mind.
There's a possibility you can say Nagy's better than Sean McVay. I mean, like, we got much
we
closer
played
to
them.
winning.
Yeah.
I mean, we won more games in our regular season in like his first year. Our offense is honestly going to be better than them in a couple of years. I think our defense. I give a lot of credit to Vic, but Nagy's also done something to like keep Vic and keep this defense trending up, and also his leadership role.
All right, we'll talk about Nagy later. I'm going to interrupt you. We're talking about Nagy later, but Jaylen, who's your executive of the year?
Yeah, good old Pace, man. With Pace, you gotta keep it Pace. It definitely took time for us to be good and have a good roster. Pace has been very good at drafting in the mid rounds these last couple of years. The last couple of years, like his first draft or second draft, we got Jordan Howard. Then the year before that, we had Adrian Amos, even though he's not as good as some other picks, but he's still been great. And then last season, or
2 seasons ago,
2017, when we got Mitchell, he drafted Tariq and
Eddie Jackson,
who are two Pro Bowlers.
And then just last year, he got Bilal Nichols in the 5th round.
Yeah, but Bilal Nichols has been great too. He's been very great at drafting. This has been his first season where he tried to have a splash on free agency, and it worked out pretty well. Getting Allen Robinson, Caleb Gabriel, Aaron Lynch, and etc. names like that. And then we all know September 1st, 2018, when we all woke up to the Bears trading for Columbus.
Oh yeah, baby. Yep.
He definitely came into 2018. His New Year's resolution was to make the Bears good again, and he definitely did that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Agreed.
Next we got Coach of the Year. Parth already talked a lot about Nagy, so we're going to make this one quick. I think Matt Nagy for all of us. I said it earlier. Everyone was looking for a Sean McVay, and Nagy panned out not exactly how we thought he was. Much better than what we thought we were going to get for sure. I thought we were going to be 9-7 this year, and we were going to be trending upwards, but we obviously showed, similar to what I said about the Colts earlier, that we were ahead of script, all because of Nagy. First off, just him for, obviously now he's gone, but just retaining Fangio last year was incredible. I thought he was going to Green Bay because they offered him a lot more money than us, but somehow Nagy convinced him to stay, and that was incredible. And we look how this defense did, and I think it wouldn't have been the same under Fangio. I hope it's still good under Chuck Pagano, but losing Fangio is huge. We talked about this before. And losing Fangio last year would have been huge. So kudos to Nagy for keeping Fangio and just helping the offense progress. I mean, I think the offense was pretty mediocre this year. I think it's going to be better next year. But the offense, we haven't really ever seen a good offense in Chicago, and this offense was the best we've seen in years.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Jaylen's mic is muted right now, but I'm sure he agrees as well.
I didn't know my mic was muted, but I'm definitely gonna go with Matt Nagy here. Y'all basically hit all the bases with talking about how he completely changed this team around, and none of us expected this. I expected us to be way better than 5-11, but definitely not third in the NFC, winning the division over teams like the Minnesota Vikings, who were 13-3 last year. So yeah, Nagy here, no doubt about it.
Totally. Yeah. Next we've got Offensive Player of the Year. This is an interesting one because Mahomes is my MVP. I already spoke about it earlier, so I don't want to give it to Mahomes, essentially. I'm going to hand it off to one of you guys. Who would be your guys' Actually, no, I'm going to give it to Mahomes. I think he deserves MVP and Offensive Player of the Year. We talked about it earlier, 50 touchdowns. I've been pondering this in my mind. I was about to give it to Gurley, but such a massive impact for Mahomes this year. We didn't know what to expect when Alex Smith was traded to the Redskins out of Mahomes, and he was absolutely incredible. I'm not going to say the Bears were right or wrong for not drafting Mahomes, but either way, Mahomes has panned out incredibly well. So Mahomes is my Offensive Player of the Year. Either you guys.
Jaylen, you want to go or should I go?
Either way.
I'm gonna go with Mike Thomas of the New Orleans Saints.
Okay, that's a good one.
I mean, whatever he's done this season's been like unexpected. Basically, I mean, no one expected him to put up these numbers, and he's been a huge part of the Saints' success to being the best team in the NFL. I'd say he's reliable. I mean, when I watched them play the Eagles last week, and every third down it was to Mike Thomas, and it got annoying to watch a little bit. I was like, dang, if I was an Eagles fan, I'd be so pissed right now.
Yeah.
Because triple coverage, double coverage, Mike Thomas was there, and he caught that ball when Drew Brees threw it up to him.
Yeah.
So I'd give this one to Mike Thomas.
Jaylen, is there any way you could give it to a third different person? We've had some agreeing tonight, but it'd be interesting if we got 3 different viewpoints on this award.
Yeah, coming into this, I already know who I had on my mind. Going with Todd Gurley.
Okay.
He put up a lot of touchdowns. You could like you said, you could give it to Mahomes, but a quarterback being offensive player of the year, like that's something that you expect to happen because it's a quarterback.
Yeah.
Most important position on the team. So I'm gonna go with Todd Gurley. Put up a lot of touchdowns. Kind of carried that Rams offense sometimes. You know, when Todd Gurley wasn't producing, the Rams offense looked garbage because they couldn't do the play action like they usually do. So Todd Gurley here for me.
Yeah. Defensive player of the year. I hate to say it's not Khalil Mack, but I got to give it to Aaron Donald this year. He was absolutely incredible. I think 18 sacks for him. He was disrupting the quarterback all year. You can make an argument for Mack saying that he made it much easier for other players around him to perform. Specifically, Akeem Hicks and Roquan Smith, I would say that he made it much easier for both those guys to step out of their shells and play well this year. Roquan was great. When Mack came in, Roquan took advantage, I would say, of his one-on-one matchup with the O-lineman when he was blitzing, and he did pretty good, and he was getting much, much better as the year progressed, and I think there's literally a Mack effect that helps that happen. So, also Akeem Hicks, he's a Pro Bowler. We all thought he deserved it. He got a lot of help from Mack as well as I would say Leonard Floyd. You saw his year as it went on. He got much better. But I'm going to give it to Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald was just dominant to another level. I would say if they were close in stats, I would give it to Mack. But Aaron Donald had 6 more sacks and had a lot of QB hits and stuff like that. So I'm going to give it to Aaron Donald.
For another viewpoint, I'm just going to say Khalil Mack. I mean, he's a fellow Chicago Bear. You know, that's our team right there.
Yep.
And he basically just elevated this whole team. When we got Mack, I woke up just like Trubisky said. He woke up to it was my dad who told me, and I went nuts. I was in Tennessee on vacation. It was probably the best thing I've heard all day. Like, it was better than my vacation, pretty much. And that vacation was pretty darn good, I'm gonna tell you that. But Khalil Mack, he made this defense on a whole nother level. We knew this defense was top 10, but we basically were the best defense in the league because of him. He brought that presence, double team.
Sorry, guys, a little technical difficulty there. My computer that normally records decided to junk up and not work. But we were at Jaylen, or Parth, we talked about him with Khalil Mack being Defensive Player of the Year. Jaylen, who's your Defensive Player of the Year going to be?
So right here, I would love to go with Mack, but I don't think I can do this. So I'm gonna have to go with Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald put up crazy numbers to be an inside rusher, had like 20.5 sacks. Basically carried that defense. That defense was looked at to be good just because of Aaron Donald. So that's what I'm going to go here. But I would love for it to be Mike because of the way he completely changed his defense. That was already top 10. He just made us have like more national attention. But I'm going to go with Donald here.
Yeah. And then finally, we got the MVP award. This is the most coveted award in the NFL. Everyone wants it, everyone needs it, and it's big time. You're a marquee player if you win this award. So I'm going to start off with Parth. Who is your 2018-19 MVP?
I'm going to give it to Mitchell. I'm just joking.
Go Mitchell Trubisky had 6 touchdowns one game, and that is deserving of an MVP award.
Exactly. It's Patrick Mahomes. He took the league by storm. 50 touchdowns, and 50 touchdowns, what was it, 5,000 passing yards with that? That's just nuts.
Yeah.
I mean, he does have an outstanding cast to support him with Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce. He had Kareem Hunt.
Kareem Hunt.
Yeah. He also had Damian Williams, I think.
Yeah.
So, Yeah, he has the cast, but he performed at a high level. I mean, something that no one expected. I thought they were stupid to trade away Alex Smith, but Patrick Mahomes, you're a baller. Hope you lose this weekend because I will lose money then. But there's that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Mahomes as well. He was absolutely incredible, man. I don't think you can make an argument for anyone else. Maybe Drew Brees, a slight argument, but Mahomes was absolutely incredible. Spotless the entire year. I'm giving it to Patrick Mahomes.
Jaylen.
I'm gonna go with good old Kermit, Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes, 50 touchdowns in his second season. It's crazy, and to think some people that doesn't think he reached his full potential is kind of unbelievable because last year or the year we drafted Mitchell, I wanted us to take him in the second round, and clearly I was right about that, but we didn't take him in the second round because we ended up taking Mitchell, which I'm perfectly fine with now. But 50 touchdowns, crazy to me.
Yeah. Totally. Yeah. Well, that'll pretty much wrap up our miniature NFL awards show. It was about 25 minutes, so we got a good bit of stuff for you guys. If you did make it this far, do us a favor, smash a like on this video and subscribe. We're going to have a lot of more Bear stuff coming out soon. Free agency starts on March 13th. The NFL draft is on August 25th, I believe. So basically, what happens from here going on, we're going to have a little bit of free agency stuff for you guys, but basically what we got to start now is all of our NFL draft coverage. So we're going to start looking into who we think the Bears need, and start pinning down some specific names. So you can find all of our social medias down in the description. Do us a favor, check us out. We're posting stuff daily on Instagram about anything Bears. And you can follow the podcast on social media as well, where you can find more clean, crisp, new channel art and logos at Bear Down on Twitter and Instagram. You guys can check us out on both of those platforms. That'll pretty much do it for this one, guys. Though we'll see you guys in the next episode. I can't really address this one to see you later, Chicago. So we'll see you guys later, NFL fans. Enjoy championship weekend. Peace.
Peace.